Behind the palace doors in London and Windsor, an uneasy welcome is underway. President Donald Trump has arrived for his second state visit to the United Kingdom, a visit wrapped in royal pomp but clouded by political tension. Tonight, we look at the real reasons Britain's leaders felt they couldn't refuse him. This is no ordinary visit. Trump is the first U.S. president invited for two state visits in one term. His motorcade rolled through London under tight security, while protesters lined the streets. Prime Minister Keir Starmer and King Charles greeted him with the full ceremonial honors of a state guest. But the smiles and handshakes hide a much more complicated story. According to government sources, three main factors made the invitation unavoidable: economic necessity, strategic security ties, and diplomatic tradition. Let's take each one. First, money. Britain's economy is under strain after years of sluggish growth, high energy costs, and post-Brexit trade shifts. In the run-up to the visit, Washington and London negotiated what they're calling the Tech Prosperity Deal, a £31 billion package of U.S. investment in British technology, clean energy, and artificial intelligence. Microsoft pledged funding for a UK AI supercomputer. Other U.S. giants, from NVIDIA to Google, signaled new R&D centers. Downing Street officials admit privately that without Trump's personal sign-off, this scale of investment wouldn't have materialized. Refusing the state visit risked losing not just photo opportunities but billions in potential jobs and infrastructure. Second, security. The U.S. and the U.K. remain each other's closest defense partners. Intelligence sharing under the Five Eyes network, joint nuclear and cyber programs, and the new AUKUS submarine alliance all depend on a cooperative White House, with wars ongoing in Ukraine and the Middle East. British officials are wary of alienating Washington. Analysts say Starmer's government judged that maintaining personal rapport with Trump was essential to ensure continued U.S. support for NATO deployments and joint counter-terror operations. A cool reception could have jeopardized coordination at a sensitive time. Third, tradition. State visits are formally issued by the monarch, not the government. Once the first invitation was extended years ago, canceling a second would have been an extraordinary snub. Palace aides emphasized that the monarchy hosts whoever is the democratically elected U.S. leader, regardless of politics. Meanwhile, public opinion tells a different story. Polling in the UK shows a majority of Britons opposed to another Trump state visit. Protests erupted across London, Manchester, and Edinburgh, with critics citing his positions on immigration, climate, and foreign policy. Security costs are expected to exceed £20 million for this visit alone. Prime Minister Starmer defended the decision in Parliament, saying, quote, "It is in Britain's national interest to engage constructively with the United States, our closest ally." He stressed the economic and security benefits and insisted that Britain can still raise human rights and climate concerns behind closed doors. Inside Windsor Castle, Trump and Starmer signed several memorandums of understanding on technology cooperation, nuclear energy, and cybersecurity. While not full treaties, these documents pave the way for deeper commercial ties and regulatory alignment. Yet critics argue that the UK is giving too much influence to American tech giants. Former Deputy PM Nick Clegg called the deal Silicon Valley's sloppy seconds, warning of over-reliance on U.S. firms, labor backbenchers, demanded stronger conditions on data privacy and job guarantees. Foreign policy experts note that the visit highlights the ongoing asymmetry in the special relationship. The UK needs U.S. investment and security guarantees more than Washington needs London. That reality, they say, explains why Britain felt it couldn't refuse Trump despite domestic opposition. For President Trump, the optics are simpler: a triumphant return to Britain, royal pageantry, and a showcase for American power. For Prime Minister Starmer and King Charles, it's a high-stakes balancing act, welcoming a controversial ally while trying to protect Britain's own political and moral standing. Behind the palace doors, deals are signed and photographs taken. But outside, the protests and the debates continue. This state visit underscores a hard truth about international politics. Sometimes alliances aren't about affection but about necessity.